There once was a bright green parrot named Rio. Now Rio was a very energetic parrot, and he loved to talk. He would chirp and sing and laugh and mimic the people walking past the garden. She would just sit quietly and watch the world outside the bars of their cage. She watched the butterflies dance, the leaves fall, and the stars twinkle at night. She loved listening to Rio talk, but she never said a word herself, and Rio didn't know what to make of her silence. He even whistled to welcome the sun every morning and talked to the moon every night. Rio felt strange. He couldn't sleep well that night. The silence between them felt heavy. He believed that love should be loud, with words and songs and lots of attention. But there was another parrot in that garden, a sky-blue parrot named Luma. Now, Luma didn't talk or sing. One day he asked her, "Luma, why don't you talk? Don't you like me? Don't you love me?" Luma looked at him with her soft eyes, but she didn't reply. She didn't walk away. Either she just stayed by his side. As days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, Rio continued to chatter. He told stories, sang silly songs, and made jokes. Luma remained quiet, but always near. "Why don't you ever say anything, Luma?" he snapped. "I talk to you every day. I share everything. You just sit there, silent." Luma was quiet as always, but her distance hurt. That night, Rio whispered into the dark, Maybe I was wrong. Maybe love doesn't always have to shout." And for the first time, the silence between them felt like it was trying to say something deep, something real. She was quiet when the nights turned cold, and Rio needed her feathers to keep him warm. She was quiet when loud thunder shook the sky, and Rio was scared. She was quiet when food was scarce, and Rio needed her help. And she was always there, her soft eyes on him, never judging, never leaving. And bit by bit, Rio stopped worrying about her silence, but one morning his frustration grew. Luma blinked slowly and looked away. That evening, for the first time, she didn't sit next to him. She stayed at the far corner of the cage. The next day, he didn't talk, just sat, staring at the garden. The next few days passed slowly. Rio didn't sing or joke. The cage, once full of cheerful sounds, was now filled with silence. But in that silence, Rio began to notice things he hadn't seen before. He watched how Luma woke up early and quietly fixed the straw in their cage. He noticed how she moved the food closer to him, even when she was hungry. He saw how her feathers were thinner now. She had plucked some of them to line the nest and keep him warm at night. She never said a word, but she was always doing something for him. One rainy afternoon, as cold winds blew through the garden, Rio sat shivering. Suddenly Luma came close and wrapped her wings around him. She didn't say anything, but her touch spoke louder than words. It said, "I'm here. I care." That evening, Rio couldn't hold it anymore. He turned to her with gentle eyes and spoke softly. "Luma, I'm sorry. I thought love had to be loud. I thought you didn't care because you never said anything. But now, I see it. You've been loving me all along, just without words." Luma looked into his eyes. For the first time in weeks, she stepped closer. And then, she spoke. "I never needed to shout, Rio," she whispered. "We're always in my heart. I just showed it in my way." Rio's eyes welled with tears. He felt something in his chest, a warmth, a peace he had never known before. He moved closer and touched his wing gently to hers. From that day on, Rio stopped asking questions, stopped expecting loud words or big expressions. He simply learned to listen, not just with his ears, but with his heart. And Luma, she didn't talk much after that, but she stayed. She listened. She shared every moment with Rio, in silence, in stillness, in gentle gestures. The cage didn't change. The world outside was the same. But inside the cage, a new kind of love had bloomed. A love that didn't shout, didn't demand, didn't break the silence. It simply existed, warm, steady, and true. People who passed by would still hear Rio chirping now and then. But sometimes he would sit quietly beside Luma, without saying anything, just watching the sky. Because now he knew, true love doesn't need a voice, it needs presence, it needs care. And sometimes, it speaks best in silence.